putting every Marvel Spider-Man 2 villain in a tier list. Disclaimer, this is my personal list, so if you don't agree with any of my picks, you're more than welcome to let me know down below in the comments. Let's go ahead and get into the video. Okay, so the first villain we're going to be judging today will be no other than our first villain in the game. We're talking about Flint Marko, aka the Sandman. That intro boss fight with Flint Marko was exquisite, and it's the best version I think we've seen so far of Sandman. Definitely gotta give a promotion to whoever that's Insomniac Studio that cooked up this design for Marko, or had the idea to put him in the first fight they enter the game. Definitely deserves the keys to the city right away. So Flint Marko, aka Sandman, easy S tier. Second on our list is no other than the terrifying, the ugly, the scale, the thick, the humongous Lizard. Now the Lizard, as much as I love Dr. Connors in this game and I love the portrayal of the Lizard, I don't think it holds up to Sandman's introduction and what he brought up to the game. It was an amazing fight. It was definitely an amazing build-up, especially going in the sewers and finding this hideous lizard. Pretty huge lizard too, because this is probably the biggest. I think this is the biggest that we've seen of Dr. Connor's lizard. So the fact that we saw him with his robe and then he grew even larger was amazing, and for that I think he deserves a very respectfully A tier. So we're gonna put the lizard in A. The next one is hard. I will not lie, this one will definitely be the dividing point. Next one we have is actually Mr. Negative, and I know the whole game kind of pushed him more into an anti-hero role in this game, but I feel like he was a huge upgrade from the previous game. As much havoc as Martin Lee wreaked in the past game, we're seeing him redeem himself, and that whole arc definitely added to his character. But as a villain, I don't think, as crazy his missions were to fight against him, he was that great. He was a great villain, but he was an even better anti-hero. So for the sake of it, I believe he will be a amazing but worthy A tier. I think Mr. Negative definitely deserves a spot right next to the Lizard. So the next villain in our list is one that you guys were not expecting, but I had to put him here. He is gritty. He is Batmouth. He is, most importantly, a New Yorker. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, I am talking about no other than Jonah Jameson. Every time Spider-Man has a chance of doing something good, here comes Jonah Jameson and just craps on it all over and over again. I will easily, without a shadow of my mind, will put Jonah Jameson in S tier. Top Spider-Man villain. Don't at me. Let me know down in the comment if you disagree, but I will still say we cannot discuss this one. This one is a given. Jonah Jameson, S tier villain for Spider-Man, wherever he goes.
I'm not going anywhere!
Okay, so the next villain in this list, technically she is, and she isn't a villain in the game particularly, but I thought it would be fair to put her in the villains list, and we're talking about no other than Wraith. Now, Wraith I wasn't really crazy about her. I loved her in the previous game as Jury, by herself without having basically the vigilante aspect of her. In this game, I can see why she will pick up a life against crime and be basically an anti-hero, not even a vigilante, because she does not pull back her punches until she works with Spider-Man. I mean, this woman was out here doing God knows what. So I personally would put her right in the middle of everything, which I will say she's solid a C of a villain. Okay, I am very excited for this one because Insomniac did this man justice. My God, Insomniac hired Matt Murdock and Nelson and Murdoch and took this case to court and said, listen, we are doing our boy justice. I am talking about no other than Mysterio. Mysterio in this game, I don't care what anybody says, but Mysterio in this game was freaking fantastic. Especially the side missions were very, very entertaining. But on top of that, as a villain, especially that boss fight where he puts you in that glove and it's all trippy, bunch of illusions, was freaking awesome. I gotta say, Insomniac crushed it. His suit design was awesome. the actual villain, the people behind Mysterio, us thinking it was Quentin Beck this whole time, is like, nah. And I kid you not, that entire scene where like you supposedly beat Mysterio and then I was running in loops trying to exit the Mysterium like an idiot for a good 5 to 10 minutes, I felt so dumb. Insomniac fooled me. I love how they basically took to heart, yeah, no, we gotta do Mysterio some justice because Mysterio has been as of latest portrayals. For that being said, Mysterio is undoubtedly S tier, boys. S tier. I know, boys. I know the one that you want me to say. I know you want to hear it. I will give it to you. The next villain, you already know who I'm bringing up, is not other than the man behind everything, the one orchestrated the entire demise, and he's on his last breath, or shall I call it his final hunt. We are talking about no other than Craven the Hunter. Now, I will tell you this, Craven the Hunter in Insomniac Spider-Man 2 has been the best portrayal of Craven the Hunter I have ever seen in my entire life. He was awesome, terrifying, very menacing, especially when you get to play the MJ side mission where you're in the zoo before they let out Dr. Connors and you see everything he did to the previous Spider-Man foes. It's like, this man is not playing. This man is here for business and he's wiping villains. And matter of fact, let me go a step further. That scene where he freaking grabbed Scorpion like he was nothing with one hand and then literally took out his freaking stang from his body and just killed him with him was like shivering. Like I did not know how to act. This man literally just crushed Scorpion without even sweating. Does he deserve S tier? I know in the comments it's gonna go crazy if I put this man below S tier. Do I think he deserves it? I am 50-50, and I'll tell you why. As much as Craven was very menacing and very terrifying and very, very fear-inducing, or should I say, and very, very thrilling, I just feel like if I were to play the game without all the hype that he was given, to promote the game, I would have easily blindly put him in S tier. But all this hype, and I don't really want to blame Insomniac for it because they're trying to sell you the game, but all this hype for Craven, and he was great, but at the same time, he got overshadowed as soon as we reached, a certain villain that I will mention next in the video. So for that, because of the fact that the people that we have in S tier, no matter who you put against them, there's not a single villain in this list that will overshadow those villains. So with a conflicted hearts, I want to say Craven is an A+. So I will put him in front of the Lizard. Okay, so the next villain shouldn't be too surprised to anybody. We kind of saw where the story was going and where Insomniac was taking him. But I do appreciate them making him into a boss fight. And I'm talking about no other than Peter with his black suit. I thought it was incredible. The only problem that I have with this is we didn't get too much time to really see all the changes Peter went through with the black suit before we fought him. It wasn't as, emotional. I saw a lot of people commenting that if Peter would have let those people in Coney Island died when he said, "This suit makes me a better Spider-Man," that line would have hit on the spot. And I agree. Especially after all the pain Peter has induced, that line and everything folding together, especially with the symbiote, would have just solidified him in a higher tier. But I think he was a great villain, especially for the story. So I want to personally put him, obviously, above Wraith. Sorry, Wraith. This is not a Wraith ranking video, but I do think Peter Parker, or should I say, the Black Suit Spider-Man, is definitely a worthy B tier. Okay, so keeping the symbiote family together, I don't think any of us expected this, and this was legitimately one of my favorite reveals in the game, but easily, Scream. Seeing Mary Jane Watson become Scream was actually pretty rad. Same as Peter, I still think that we needed more to develop the character, to flesh the character. So that being said, I do think also Scream is deserving of a B tier. since we're doing the symbiote family, we gotta put our boy no other than you already know, Cletus Cassidy. Do I think that the Flame was a menacing villain? He was okay, okay? He was a little creepy, weird, because he was so, the cultist and all that stuff was kind of a little weird, and I like that. It brings out a lot of Cassidy's character. Do I think he is a better villain than Wraith? I don't think so. They're kind of head to head. He was very creepy, but I want to see him with the Carnage suit, okay? When he puts on that symbiote, we will rank him up. But for right now, that boy's C is for Cletus Cassidy, so therefore we're gonna drop him right next to Wraith in C tier. You already know where I'm going with this, boys. You already know this shouldn't even be a debate. You already know who's coming. No other than the myth, 19 inches of your favorite anti-hero, villain, whatever you want to call it. We're talking about 19 inches of Venom. That's right, ladies and gentlemen. Venom is without a doubt in my freaking mind. If you were to tell me what is the one villain that you would undoubtedly put an S tier, will be Venom. Matter of fact, I would even put him in S tier. Matter of fact, he deserves his own tier list. He deserves his own entire tier list where there's just spam pictures of Venom, 19 inches all across. Okay, so for that reason, we're gonna create an entire new tier just for him. All right, ladies and gentlemen, and for our final villain, this should be no-brainer, right? This villain was a insane addition to the game. This man was no other than menacing and everything that is wrong with society in one character. We're talking about no other than Daryl. That's right, we're talking about the man behind stealing the instrument. Was the easiest S tier I have given on this list, but S tier for schmuck because he's a pest and he deserves his own tier. Matter of fact, D for Daryl does not even do him justice. We're gonna create another new tier. We're gonna put him all the way at the bottom and we're gonna name it S for schmuck. Oh, I misspelled that one. There you go. Gonna put that thing in purple and we're gonna add Mr. Thanos himself. Alright, mi gente, so that's gonna be it for today's video. Let me know down below in the comments, what do you think of our tier list? What is your tier list? Let me know down below. Do you agree, disagree? Where will you put each villain on your personal tier list? Whatever the case may be, drop it down in the comments. And as always, if you like this video and want to see more videos, make sure to hit the like button and hit the subscribe button to stick around and see what's coming up next. Since this video we appreciated what Insomniac has given us, next video we're gonna ask them for some stuff. So stay tuned, don't forget to subscribe and stick around because next video is gonna be one that you would not want to miss. Anyways, that's gonna be it for today's video. Appreciate you guys for tuning in and I'll see you on the next episode.